Someone asked me to name 2 structures that hold water. I was like, well, damn. Today, I'm going to recap a 2008 action-adventure film called 10,000 BC. In the epoch of 10,000 BC, the Yagals, a prehistoric tribe, struggled to endure, confronted with the difficulty of locating mammoths for essential supplies of food, bone, and fur. Their hunters embark on increasingly distant journeys in pursuit of nourishment. One evening, they come back with Evolet, a young girl they find clutching her deceased mother. The girl's bright blue eyes, a sight unseen by the tribe before, leaves a lasting impression. The old mother, a revered shaman within the tribe, through her communion with the spirits, reveals a foretelling. It speaks of a time when 4-legged demons will invade their valley, coinciding with their final hunt. From this pivotal moment, a valiant warrior will emerge, destined to unite with Evolet in matrimony, and guide the Yagals to an existence free of starvation. Skeptical of the predestined fate, the tribe's chief is inclined to seek alternative means to secure sustenance for his people rather than await a prophesied hunt of uncertain arrival. Prior to his departure, he entrusts Tic'Tic, his closest ally, with the sacred white spear, charging him with the duty of safeguarding his son the Lay. The absence of the chief subjects the lad to derision and scorn, painting him as the offspring of a deserter. Tic'Tic assumes the role of mediator, quelling conflicts and upholding the dignity of the departed leader. Amidst this turbulence, the Lev finds solace in solitude, a respite shared by Evolet, who bears the scars of her own solitude after losing her people to the 4-legged demons. A bond cemented by shared experiences of isolation prompts the Lev's vow to stand by Evolet. As years flow, the camaraderie between the Lev and Evolet matures into profound affection. The heralded day of the final hunt dawns, and Baku, now grown, imparts to the Lev the old mother's assertion of the impending fulfillment of the prophecy. Their exchange is disrupted by Evolet, now a woman. She lures Baku away with food, seizing the opportunity to express her apprehensions to the Lay. The prospect of Ka Ren's victory unsettles her, inspiring a proposal to escape together. Bound by the legacy of his father's departure, the Lay rebuffs the notion of flight, vowing instead to prevail in the hunt. The arrival of the mammoths is heralded by Baku. The air is rife with anticipation, with many in the tribe expecting Ka Ren to triumph and claim Evolet. Tic'Tic, a figure of authority and wisdom, instructs the hunters on the esteemed prize of leadership and the revered white spear awaiting the victor as they proceed to the hunting grounds. They approach the herd with calculated silence, Tic'Tic leading. He singles out the lead mammoth and bellows at it, a tactic echoed by the other hunters. As the mammoths retreat in panic, the hunters give chase. One enormous beast, attempting to navigate a tight passage, is ensnared in the tribe's net. Ka Ren hurls his spear in an attempt to subdue it but fails. The mammoth, in a display of strength, frees itself, the net ensnaring its feet as it bolts. Tic'Tic, assessing the mammoth's formidable strength, orders the hunters to release the net. The Lay, however, finds his hand ensnared and is dragged helplessly in the mammoth's wake. Salvation arrives when the net catches on rocks, halting the mammoth's flight. It turns, charging at the Lay with rage. A nimble evasion saves the Lay from the onslaught, and he retaliates, throwing his spear. It merely enrages the beast further. The Lay, spotting another spear embedded in rocks, rushes towards it, but is pursued relentlessly by the mammoth, which impales itself upon the weapon. It collapses atop the Lay, lifeless. The tribe, witnessing the ordeal, rushes to the Lay's aid. He's hailed for a solo kill, unprecedented in the tribe's history. The old mother presents him the revered white spear and Evolet's hand. Amidst celebrations and feasting, the Lay is burdened with guilt. The kill, after all, was unintended. Seeking counsel, the Lay approaches Tic'Tic, torn between confessing and retaining Evolet's hand. Tic'Tic underscores the Yagals' values of integrity, implying the ill-gotten white spear would mar their union. The Lay, heeding the wisdom, relinquishes the spear, declaring his undying affection for Evolet. However, Evolet interprets this as a withdrawal of his commitment, leaving him distraught. Dawn ushers in horror as 4-legged demons, revealed as horse-riding invaders, assail the tribe. The strong are enslaved, the defiant slain. Baku, concealed in a hut, witnesses his mother's murder by one eye. The Le, awakened by the screams, rushes to intervene but is restrained by Tic'Tic, recognizing the futility of resistance against the overpowering foes. The Warlord, the dominant figure among the riders, is captivated by Evolet's alluring appearance and decides to claim her as his possession. In the aftermath of the riders' invasion, the remaining tribe members grapple with the ruins of their once peaceful existence. The lad, fueled by a potent mix of desperation and determination, resolves to pursue the riders. Tic'Tic and Ka-Ren, compelled by loyalty or perhaps their own unuttered motivations, join him. Young Baku, forbidden to accompany due to his tender age, stealthily follows, revealing his orphan state as justification. Their journey is marked by discovery. A scattering of stones, remnants of a fire, and a segment of Evolet's necklace affirm their course. Yet nature proves a formidable adversary. A fierce snowstorm assails them, a trial sensed by the old mother, her spirit attuned to their tribulations. The storm, though weathered, obliterates the riders' tracks, casting the hunters into disheartening uncertainty. In the captive caravan, Evolet's resilience manifests in a silent rebellion, her necklace fragments marking their journey. One Eye's discovery of this silent defiance leads to Warlord's brutal reprisal. The hunters, subsequent to this, stumble upon the bloody testament of Evolet's resistance. Despair and hope clash, the ominous discovery counteracted by Baku's youthful optimism. The disturbance in the avian world directs them anew, the forest, alive with both ominous threats and the rider's passage. Here, Warlord's authority is enforced with merciless whips, a hurried passage prompted by an unseen predator's assault. The Liz discovery of a fragment of the victim's armor unveils a path to the rider's encampment. Impulsivity urges immediate action, but Tic'Tic's seasoned caution advocates for patience in the face of the Sentinel's vigilance. A new dawn sees Evolet under the menacing attention of One Eye. The Le's timely intervention thwarts the assault. Their reunion, though poignant, is disrupted by an inexplicable terror seizing the horses. Amidst this chaos, Warlord registers Evolet's absence. The Le and Evolet, seizing the moment, begin liberating their fellow captives. However, the discerning gaze of One Eye perceives their silent rebellion, igniting a pursuit fraught with desperation and danger. While in hurried flight, the Le and the others converge with Tic'Tic and the rest of their group, but Ka-Ren is seized by One Eye. Their frenzied escape is abruptly stalled by the onslaught of terror birds. The riders are compelled to confront the fearsome creatures. Baku, young yet resourceful, ascends a tree for refuge, while Tic'Tic confronts the avian predators, sustaining injuries in the process. In the tumult, the Le reassures Evolet of his imminent return, venturing into the fray to divert the bird's attention from Baku. A dynamic chase ensues, leading the Le to a strategic vantage point atop a rock, from where he dispatches one of the birds. The bamboo thicket proves instrumental in his triumph over the second terror bird, utilizing a bamboo stalk as an improvised weapon. Amidst the Le's confrontation with the birds, the rider sees the opportunity to apprehend Baku and Evolet. The Le, returning to the scene, discovers a wounded Tic'Tic, urgent concern prompting the swift fashioning of a pallet for transport. The pursuit of the riders extends across the savannah, marked by intervals of rest and sustenance. One evening, the necessity of treating Tic'Tic's wounds becomes paramount. The heat of a hastily assembled fire sterilizes the injury, and the Le's apology for prior disobedience echoes in the silent night. The subsequent hunt for food propels the Le into the obscurity of the dark, where an unintended plunge into a pit renders him unconscious. Parallel to these events, the old mother is stirred from sleep, haunted by ominous premonitions. The advent of a torrential downpour awakens the lad to the perilous companionship of a saber-toothed tiger within the pit. Initial hostility yields to empathy, and the lad liberates the majestic creature, an act of mercy that dispels the old mother's unease. Emerging from the pit, the Le is reunited with a recuperating Tic'Tic. A distant assault, betrayed by rising smoke, beckons their investigation. They stumble upon a village, its tranquility shattered by the riders' invasion. Hunger drives them to the abandoned feast, but they are swiftly encircled by the village's armed inhabitants. The precipice of doom is averted by the timely arrival of the saber-toothed tiger. Its formidable presence instills awe, and a discerning growl in the Les direction is followed by a deafening roar that chastens the villagers. The dispelled threat prompts the villagers to lower their weapons, extending hospitality to the lad and Tic'Tic amidst the aftermath of chaos. Nakudu, the leader, communicates in the Les tongue, a skill acquired from an encounter with a man bearing resemblance to Delay, indicating that his father had traversed these lands. The revelation incites Delay's curiosity about his father's whereabouts, but Nakudu shares the grim news of his capture by the riders, captors from whom no one has ever escaped. Nakudu then reveals ancient paintings narrating a prophecy of a man, akin to the Lay, with the uncanny ability to commune with the tiger, destined to liberate their people. The prophecy resonates with the Les' recent encounter, yet self-doubt plagues him. Tic'Tic, discerning the Les' turmoil, reassures him, recounting that his father's departure was a quest for a prosperous existence for their tribe, laying a path the lad could choose to tread. A new dawn sees the return of the messenger with grave tidings. The other tribes, too, have borne the brunt of the rider's savagery. A consensus to confront the invaders unites them. Amidst the preparation and farewells, the lad observes Nakudu's solitude. The leader shares the tragic loss of his wife and abduction of his son Tudu at the hands of the riders. In the riders' captivity, young Tudu forges a bond with Baku. A moment of reprieve sees One Eye's cruel attempt to force Baku to drink water, instigating Baku's violent resistance. Evolet's plea to the Warlord spares Baku from One Eye's wrath, sowing seeds of animosity and veiled threats of retribution from One Eye. The lad and his companions, united in purpose, are met with an overwhelming assembly of warriors from various tribes, rallied by the tales of the prophesied leader's emergence. Their expedition, marked by unyielding perseverance, sees the ranks of the allied forces swell with each passing day. The riverbank unveils the chilling sight of the riders' departure, their boats laden with caged slaves. The Lay's impassioned call to Evolet reverberates in the silent air. Her response, a declaration of faith in his impending rescue, is a spectacle to the enslaved and their captors alike. However, the riders' stern repression silences the captive stirrings of hope. Confronted with the aquatic expanse, incapable of pursuit by sea, the amassed tribes convene in urgent deliberation, weighing the daunting odds and seeking pathways to overcome the impending challenges. The prospect of rescuing their kin from the clutches of the formidable riders hangs in the balance, teetering between despair and an unwavering resolve to prevail. The narrative unfolds a mystical revelation. The river, likened to a serpent, meanders through the sandy expanses, leading the enslaved to the snake's eye, situated beneath an unyielding sun and immutable moon. The terrestrial path through the vast desert seems insurmountable. However, Delay's indefatigable spirit impels him to lead the tribes into the arid wilderness, vowing to uncover the elusive snake's eye. Days of relentless journeying through the desert's harsh terrains cast shadows of doubt. Yet an epiphany strikes the lad as he discerns that the snake's eye is metaphorically the North Star. This realization heralds nocturnal journeys, guided by the celestial beacon. In parallel, the old mother, engulfed in silence, remains stationary, a sentinel awaiting the opportune moment to fulfill her destined role. Their arduous pilgrimage culminates in the discovery of the Mountain of the Gods, the rider's destination. Here, the captives, including the enslaved tribesmen, are subjugated to construct a monumental pyramid for a sophisticated civilization that has even subjected the majestic mammoths to servitude. The peremptory sound of a horn commands universal obeisance to the Almighty and his clergy. The Almighty's displeasure at the perceived tardiness of the construction incites a brutal sacrifice, and Ka-Ren witnesses the precipitous fall of a friend from the towering structure. Amidst this grim atmosphere, the Lay is beleaguered by the realization of their numerical inadequacy. Tic'Tic, however, envisages the amalgamation of the slave strength augmenting their forces. Under the shroud of night, the Lay and Nakudu infiltrate the encampment. Emotional reunions ensue as Nakudu embraces his son, while Delay's inquiries about Evolet reveal her confinement in another edifice. A remorseful Delay extends his apologies to Ka Ren, who reciprocates with unwavering allegiance, anchored in the prophecy. Skepticism arises from a slave of another tribe, who dismisses Delay's capacity to defy God. Nakudu's intervention, extolling Delay's enigmatic communion with the tigers, shifts the atmosphere. The slaves unveil a concealed blind man, a former servant to a god, bearing revelations of the deity's profound apprehension of the mark of the hunter, symbolized by the most luminary star in the celestial expanse. The revelation that Delay lacks the mark dims their hope of vanquishing the Almighty. A sense of urgency grips them as the guard's approaching footsteps echo menacingly. In the momentary respite before escape, Delay's attention is drawn to the blind man's bracelet, a piece echoing familiarity. The revelation that it once belonged to his father, now deceased, adds an emotional dimension to their already fraught situation. Their escape back to the allied tribes is shadowed by pursuing guards. The tribesmen brace for confrontation, but Tic'Tic, with a warrior's instinct, engages the foe solo. His combat skills are masterful, yet, in a twist of fate, a feigned defeat by one guard results in Tic'Tic's tragic stabbing. Delay, by his side, implores for his guidance, citing the slave's allegiance to their own prophecy. With his last breaths, Tic'Tic bequeaths the white spear to Delay, offering a poignant reminder of the multifaceted nature of prophecies. Concurrently, Evolet's plight unfolds in Warlord's chambers. Her surreptitious possession of his sword is thwarted by an untimely intrusion of priests and guards, a revelation that casts Warlord into chains, a consequence of One Eye's vengeful disclosure. The priest's discovery of the mark of the hunter on Evolet incites the Almighty's wrath, illuminating the looming threat. Delay, in the aftermath of Tic'Tic's passing, is consoled and encouraged by Nakudu, invoking the legacy of his father. The acceptance of the white spear is symbolic, marking Delay's ascendancy to leadership. His impassioned oration galvanizes the tribes, instilling a collective resolve reminiscent of their collaborative mammoth hunts. Dawn heralds strategic preparations. A covert infiltration into the enemy camp is facilitated by buried spears and feigned submission. Baku's initiation into the hunter's fold and covert messages signal the imminence of confrontation. Evolet and Warlord, presented before the Almighty, expose the former stealthy rebellion and the latter's punitive lashing. The revelation of the approaching spear warriors incites defensive preparations. Amidst the tense atmosphere, Delay and Ka Ren locate the enslaved mammoth leader. Baku and Tudu, entrusted with a crucial role, execute their task with precision. The liberation of the mammoths coincides with Delay's initiation of the rebellion. The atmosphere, charged with pent-up resentment and fervent hope, ignites into a battlefield where the oppressed rise with formidable defiance. Amidst the escalating rebellion, Delay's attempts to intimidate the mammoth leader prove fruitless. The sudden emergence of guard sees Ka Ren valiantly engaging them, a sacrifice that grants Delay crucial moments. Overwhelmed by grief and rage, Delay's resonating roar instigates the mammoth stampede, their crushing gait decimating the guards. Witnessing the upheaval, the enslaved populace is galvanized into action, the air rife with the clash of rebellion and suppression. The Almighty, attuned to the tumult, commands Evolet's public execution to quell the insurgent spirit. The sight of Evolet stirs a ceasefire amongst the warriors, their resistance momentarily halted by the blaring horn, as subjugation and despair return. The Almighty's ultimatum, voiced through his priest, pits Delay's retreat against Evolet's survival. A conditional release of his tribesmen is an unsatisfactory offer for Delay. His retaliatory spear strike, piercing the Almighty, unveils the human vulnerability beneath the divine facade, reinvigorating the slave's revolt. Baku's confrontation with One Eye, fueled by avenging fervor, sees Tudu's capture. Nakudu's swift intervention ends One Eye's tyranny, balancing the scales of justice. The revolution infiltrates the epicenter of power, priests are overpowered, and vessels of escape incinerated. Amidst the chaos, Warlord's escape with Evolet is countered by her resourceful defiance, though an ensuing arrow strike casts a shadow of despair. The old mother, synchronously afflicted, bleeds. The Les confrontation with Warlord culminates in the oppressor's demise by the White Spear, yet victory is tainted by Evolet's lifeless form in his arms. Distraught, the Les seeks the mammoth's mercy for an end to his anguish. Concurrently, the Old Mother's expiration breathes life back into Evolet. A miraculous revival transforms the Les' sorrow into ecstatic reunion. Amidst the remnants of battle and the dissipating echoes of oppression, the tribesmen's rejoicing resonates profoundly, marking the dawn of emancipation and triumph. Sometime after the triumphant rebellion, the various tribes embark on their journeys back to their respective villages. Nakudu bestows upon the Le a collection of seeds that his father had gathered, a legacy intended to alleviate the food scarcity of the Les people. Their farewell is imbued with a sense of finality, marking the end of their shared journey and the commencement of separate paths, unlikely to converge again. Days following the separation, the lad and his fellow villagers make their triumphant return to their homeland. The seeds, symbols of hope and renewal, are planted. It is a manifestation of rejuvenation and abundance, echoing the changed fortunes of the village. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.